Testing. Monday, January 1st, 2024. Yay! Today on the Daily Review, we discuss both Ricky Gervais's stand-up and the new Dave Chappelle Netflix specials, Armageddon and The Dreamer. With your host, me, Professor Joe LaRocca. We're not going to talk too long about Ricky because I didn't make it all the way through it. And I talked to my brother about it, and he filled me in on the end. So yeah, Ricky, I used to love Ricky. I love The Office, and I really like Extras. And I liked, first couple stand-ups are pretty good, but, he's always just cheap, like taking on the Bible and religion and stuff. It's like, all right, dude, yes, very original. And yeah, he acts like, I'll just say what Gotham said, like he acts like everybody's so sensitive except for me. And then the thing that really, it just bothered me. Also, I feel like he was wearing a girdle, like in Extras. I feel like he's become everything that he rallied against in the beginning, And it's in stark contrast to the Dave Chappelle one, because they're both, in a lot of people's eyes would be considered offensive. But Ricky does it in a way that he just is like, he doesn't feel any of those things. Not that that makes it sound like I'm not the one making these jokes. I thought the Dave Chappelle one was much better, although I didn't think it was one of his best by any means. I think that joke that he has coming out of the gate is amazing. That first 10 minutes. And I know it probably is a little bit offensive to trans people. But Dave, he likes to punch down, right? That's been his game since the beginning, and punching down. And as a relatively handicapped person, I did not take any offense to the disabled jokes that he made. I think he's making his point. So what Ricky did at the end of the special was basically put a coda on there being like, I know these are just jokes. Obviously, I don't really think that. This is what comedy is, and it's where's the joke coming from, and that whole thing that he has to explain comedy to us. And it's so, because the great comics, the people who are really good right now, that I really like Shane Gillis or something, he'll make a definitely inoffensive territory, but the way he delivers the joke, the look on his face, the look in his eye, lets you know that it's all in jest, and you get what he's saying. He's saying it because he knows it's inappropriate to say, but he's also bringing something to it, finding some truth in that dark place. Whereas Ricky just is bringing up topics that he knows will make people upset and going, look, I found the most obvious joke in that world. Cool. Aren't I a cool guy? And you go, all right, dude, enough is enough. And, here's the title for today. Boom. Monday. Film Reviews Live. That's one of the new updates. I want to change the poster now so that it's a Chappelle poster. But yeah, either way, I'm going to, it's funny, I take shit when I review Chappelle reviews. Isn't that crazy? I will have tons for me, at least 3 people will be give me thumbs down and be upset that I liked this, which is also weird. Because you don't have to like it. I'm not saying he's the most brilliant thing ever. I think he tries to be controversial in a way, but I do think that he has things he wants to say about it and feelings behind those that I think actually a lot of Americans probably agree with, whether it's positive or negative, And I do think light went out. The humor. Happy New Year, Justin. What's up, buddy? Sorry, I missed your message yesterday. That's a new thing this year. I'm definitely going to try and have the front and center, the chat there, so that I can always respond. But yeah, so I don't know. I'd be interested in what other people think. I actually am not interested because I watched it and I know what I got out of it. And I'm telling you, yeah, I don't think it's one of the best Chappelle stand-ups, but I think it's always enjoyable for me to listen to him, and I know where he's coming from, and he's a true artist, And yeah, he's a little bit offensive, but it's better than you'd much rather, that's what I would say to people if you're offended by the Louis thing, by the Dave Chappelle thing, then would you rather have it be Ricky? And they'd probably all go, no, I'd rather have it just be Nate Bargatze or something. I'd rather have it just be I like Nate too, but I just, the most palatable of them all. But You know, I do. I like when I'm watching a comedian go somewhere dangerous. You know, that's where I get excitement out of it. But just after teaching this comedy class, I mean, there were people who only laughed at like slip and fall jokes in every movie. Like time somebody got like bonked in the head, there was one student who thought it was like the funniest thing that had ever happened. And that same person wasn't laughing at any of, I don't know, I'll just say something like any sex jokes or something. I'm just making that up, but like that isn't necessarily what that you know? So everybody's sense of humor is different. And so that's why stand-up specials are interesting. But whenever I review them, no matter what I say, they get the most views and I'm the least happy with my review of it. Because I'm not going to tell the jokes. I'm not saying, the whole point of a stand-up is that they're so fucking good at putting those words in order and delivering them in a certain pacing with a certain structure to the joke that it comes out with the funny and maybe a little bit of a punch in the stomach. Whereas if I just repeat it, it only sounds like I'm saying something racist, you know? Women be shopping, right? I can't just say that. That's rock. Oh, man. Then I guess I'll talk about that one. It doesn't even count as a special, but Chris Rock, who's one of my favorites ever, and Kevin Hart, who's not one of my favorites, they have a special, and it's like, only headliners, motherfucker, and it's like their therapy sessions. It's like, it's not their stand-up at all. It's just like behind the scenes, and I found it really ostentatious and self-serving and not very informative. You know, like if someone were like, ooh, we're going to get, here's a documentary about like behind the scenes of stand-up, I'd be like, oh, that's, I want to see that. But it's not as interesting when you're the top comedians in the world. You know, it's almost like watching like the Kardashians or something. Because they live such big lives, you know. Such different lives, unrelatable. Anyway, I liked it. Sue me. You don't have to sue me. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can like what you like. Anyway, what do you guys think of these titles, huh? There's one for every day. And I'm going to go boom, boom. It'll be a sound effect that you'll get used to. And you'll eventually love. Ricky, go back to your room, Ricky. And Afterlife is, I think, I'm going to say Afterlife is my least favorite